on, Shockwave. Do the trailer voice. Come on. Do it!
In a world where you're not an idiot! Anyone else sorta miss those movie Cyberverse toys? Well, I guess Studio Series wanted to dip their toes in it. With the Bumblebee movie characters coming into the frame of the toy line and Core Class being introduced, they added one figure as the best of both. Shockwave appeared in Bumblebee only for a short cameo in the Cybertron scenes, but he still had a voice role by the infamous John Bailey. Shockwave strayed from the old movie look, as did the others, for a more traditional grounded style with a new director behind the film. Shockwave transforms into an alien H-Tank. Considering in the film he did not arrive on Earth or transform regardless, they had free reign on his design. Similar to his Dark of the Moon style, but with the center turret, position of the legs, more spread out design, and chest on the front, this is more inspired by his Prime design. I'm not the biggest fan of H-Tanks, it just seems like an excuse to get the limbs out of the way. I mean, the arms are right there with the hands, yes, that's hands plural, exposed. But I don't mind, they can do whatever they want, as long as it doesn't affect the robot mode too much. I will say, it makes me regret missing out on the original Cyberverse Shockwave figures. The closest thing I got is Bludgeon or Combiner Wars. I will admit there's a few tricks here I didn't expect that I enjoy. For example, how the torso compresses down and how the hips extend out. It is disturbing that the head's just there being used as the turret mount attached by a peg. You okay there? Seem a bit miserable. I guess it's just another light in the mode. I mean, be honest, it's not the first Cybertronian movie vehicle with the head sticking out. Hell, ask Energon Ironhide. There's one good thing that was a surprise: the turret is completely posable in the right places, with an up and down motion and rotational joint. I guess my only big issue is the limbs can be tricky to line up, but I love the chest on the front to give him that signature Shockwave vibe. What can I say? For a throwaway alt mode, there's a few tricks to it, plus the use of the head as a turret mount does have some benefits I didn't think about. It sort of works with the Dark of the Moon form, so you can still argue if it is or isn't canon. I'm digging it. Robot mode. I've seen some busty Shockwaves, but look at that torso. And with the thick thighs, he's just bringing all the boys to the yard. He looks good, representing the form we see in the film. By himself, he's good, but with the other bots, it just becomes confusing. Is it meant to be a perspective thing, or did the designers know what perspective is and thought he was really tiny? Maybe he was jealous of the large man. He scales with the Kingdom Core Decepticons and fills that gap, but the aesthetic doesn't fit. You know what? Don't let the size deter you, because he's actually pretty lovely, and yes, I'm saying that about Shockwave. Aside from the treads and unsightly gaps, the shape of him is pretty proper. He just seems to sit right for me. The details are well done, the colors are good, with the purple complementing the greebling as well as the smooth surfaces, and the painted details when used blend phenomenally, even when it hides in areas. If anything, he makes for a good desk toy, but 2 hands? How dare you, Hasbro? How absolutely dare you! The head seems pretty flat, and the eye's a little big for my taste, but it's also painted well, with slick defined ears and retro features. Also, does anyone else notice the seeker vents bent backwards? Did someone say, articulation? Head rotation, ball joint, shoulders, rotation below, elbow bend, another rotation, ball joint, hips, knee bend, and foot joint. Posability is also kind of surprising for the scale, with an additional arm rotation. Elbow doesn't bend too far, and I think they could have gone further with the knee. Also, while they do hold just fine, the joint in the hip can pop out because squatting Shockwave is now a thing. Let's take a look at the accessory. Shockwave comes with a really long and detailed turret piece. It unplugs from the head, and the handle snaps into place to properly cover the hand. Although with it up, it looks like a terrible stock image. The size reminds me of the Dark of the Moon design, and there's some silver paint to cover it. The front of it is compatible with blast effects. By the way, I need to admire the silver trim around the slightly different colored chest. Just that little thing really pronounced so much for the figure. If only the back was painted as well. Honestly, I think my issue with the size is that Studio Series just started with Core Class, so even though downscaled movie figures have been a thing, even with Bumblebee and those Speed toys, Shockwave just kinda happened. But I would be open to more like it. As Shockwave is, I think he makes for a very good desk toy. The details seem proper, the purple looks good, and really, I just love the Bumblebee movie designs and Shockwaves in general that I could not pass this up. I'd say you might be surprised with this figure. He's just standing there, menacingly! Lord Megatron, I'm attempting to restore order to Cybertron with the utmost dignity, but the clap of my thighs is alerting the guards.
Allspark TV. Now that's just prime.